And I have returned. I'm just testing some waters, if you know what I mean. That was Teenage Fan Club, What You Do to Me. Really good song, really good album. Actually, thinking about covering that. So there's a good chance that if you go to a Red Vox show, that might be one of the covers we do. Just because it's simple and it's fun and it's an earworm. Definitely an earworm. That was trivia. That was also a song in The World's End, the Simon Pegg movie, Nick Frost, Edgar Wright. And yeah, it's just a simple song. I like it. It's called What You Do to Me. Maybe not the best on the album, bandwagon-esque, but it's a good one. So again, normally I don't really call these things out, but I want to thank Josh F, who donated $50. I don't know why there was no message attached to it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I always tell everyone, please, if you don't have the money, you don't have to donate. I encourage against donation. I appreciate it always. It goes to good use, but no need. You could ad block. You could never donate. You could never sub. I'm just happy you're here. By the way, there's about how many people? There was like 2,300 people here at 2 a.m. not too long ago, and now it's about 1863. I don't know if you guys know how much that means to me, but it means a lot that you're all here, you're watching me, my boring ass. It's really just great, and you guys being here means a lot to me, and I appreciate it very much. Thank you. So thanks for staying up late with me and wasting your time watching some video games with me. Appreciate it. So now I just have to change the disc to Yoshi's Woolly Wormhole, and then we'll begin. Okay. Hello and welcome to the Vinesauce ASMR Challenge. Part 17,000? Do you know what this is? Okay, well before the Nintendo Wii turned on. It wasn't soda. It wasn't a dirty keyboard. What? Nintendo weed. Pop Rocks. I'm gonna get specific. It was sparkling water with flavor. It's not quite seltzer. If you watch me stream, then you know that I do drink seltzer quite a bit because actually I have a number of dumb reasons, but I like it. Lately I haven't been liking it as much. So I tried this. It's called like flavored sparkling water beverage with other natural flavors, but it's wild cherry. And it's really good. It's not as sugary as soda, but it has some flavor, and it's not as harsh as seltzer. So, I think it's pretty good. My buddy, my cousin Spagublio told me about it. He turned me on to it. So, you know how me and my boy Spagoobs, you know how we do. So, now we enter World 3 in Yoshi's Woolly World. Alright, here we go. Yoshi and cookies. I am. What kind of Yoshi am I? Am I a Bullet Bill Yoshi? Okay, that's cookies. That is cookies. So there's gonna be some people that get hungry. Yo, Vin, I've been watching your stream for a few years now, and yeah, why you playing baby games though? Cause like you know you were playing Call of Duty the other day, and like I thought maybe that would be like a thing that happens more often, but then now you play the baby games again, and yo, that's not as good. Could you maybe do more Call of Duty, please? So first, I'd like to say that that was V-Dub, and he's still locked up in the spider room. I heard him screaming for help the other day, and as far as I can tell, he's been eating the spiders for sustenance and juice. You see, the spiders have a juiciness to them, so they give him, it quenches his thirst somewhat, but he's got to eat a lot of them in order to survive. So, I mean, you know, it's cool that he's doing good, and, yeah, so if you were wondering, there he is. Sometimes I play Call of Duty with the volume up, so he can hear how I'm doing, so he knows what kind of, like, sick kill streaks I get. I knew there would be something up there. It was like too obvious not to have some. Oh, god damn it. Oh, he's a fucking shy guy. Not so shy now, are ya? Oh wow, this is a little shitty. I'm almost dead. Alright, well I missed out on that. You said on your stream that you got a man trapped in your spider room. What does that mean? It says here that your online handle is too hot to trot 5969. What does that mean exactly? Tell me about it. Who is this V-Dub and why is he locked up in your closet? It's actually not a closet. I'm gonna do a magic trick. You ready? I think there's a mole in here. And there's a... I missed a flower, but I think we figured that one out. It doesn't matter, I missed other flowers, so at this point, it's, yeah, not really too much of a point. So yeah, the game is getting a little bit more... Wow. I knew that was gonna... I saw that happening. I saw that in slow motion. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna jump on that thing's spear. Do you remember that time I drew a Shy Guy on the Miiverse for Gay Men Wario, and it was flagged for being inappropriate? You know, the funny thing about that is, now that there's actually a Shy Guy with a spear in this game, I'm wondering if I could write a strongly worded complaint to Nintendo saying, like, listen, that was just me predicting an enemy in Yoshi's Woolly World. I mean, it's not a spear, it's a thing you use to make the yarn. I forget the name of it, but still, it's even, you know, it's even more PG. Shy Guys have had spears for a long time. Yoshi's Island introduced the Shy Guy with the spears. I mean, that looks more like my spear, because you see the end of it has got like a little nublet. There's like a little knoblet at the bottom of it. But I'm just saying. Cookie puzzles. Yeah, it's kind of weird to me in a way that Yoshi is never, aside from being in the Mario games like Galaxy and Sunshine, that Yoshi has never had his own 3D game. Like, you know, Mario 64 style, is what I mean. I wonder why Nintendo never attempted it. It's like, all of its other major franchises just about got some kind of 3D treatment. But Yoshi never quite made that transition. For better or worse. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a bad thing that Yoshi never made the transition. Some games work better in 2D, or like isometric side-scroller kind of style, rather than a 3D adventure. We've seen a lot of games on the N64 and PlayStation. It seemed like when the N64 came out, there were a ton of, like, franchises that developers just had no idea what to do with them. It was like, yeah, we gotta make it like Mario 64, because that's what everyone wants. Like, so yeah, we gotta do a 3D, like, adventure. Like, remember Earthworm Jim on the N64? I don't. But that was one of those cases where it was just like, well, let's just shoehorn this style onto this franchise and hope it works. Son of fucking bitch. Mega Man 64. Sonic had a tough time. I'd say Sonic's first transitions were not so bad. I didn't play them, but they were well received. They looked like Sonic, at least. Somewhat. I think Sonic's later 3D attempts went a little bit south, but people still seem to remember Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 pretty fondly. Like, Mike is a big Sonic fan. He likes those games. But yeah, Kirby's Air Ride was really good. Whoa. Mortal Kombat 3D. The 3D game Superman 64, I suppose, was not necessarily a storied 2D platforming franchise, even though many of the Superman games were 2D platformers. Metroid was almost on the N64, and it would have been a third-person action game. I think it was Miyamoto who suggested that it should go first person. Which doesn't normally, it doesn't sound too characteristic of a Nintendo developer, but, you know. The N64 and the PlayStation 1 was a strange time. Some games made the transition exceedingly well. Zelda, Mario 64, well, Mario, Metal Gear Solid, just to name a few. They made the transition really nicely. But other games, not so great. So many, like, failed platformers on the N64, too. And the PlayStation 1. Like, so many attempts at, like, mascots. Just, like, vapid, insipid. I love those two words, especially together. Fantastic, fantastic words. Hey, this was a Smash Brothers, Wii U level, wasn't it? Or like, something like this? By the way, that level was the first level I ever played in Smash Brothers. The Wii U version, that is. I remember Mike and I, we were beginning our hangout, where I had friends over to play the game with us. And that was the first match, it was on this one. We did random. I want a yarn or wool rocket ship. There we go. I would really appreciate it if you stopped talking. Speaking of 3D mascots. It's a Toomba that he was playing in the AGDQ video. Probably missed something good. I guess just stamps. I already missed a flower. God damn it. I'm never gonna see the extra levels. I'll probably go back and get one secret level. But I don't think I'll be able to do that for all of them. I'll probably be too bored by then to want to get all the secret levels. What other failed mascots were there? Remember, I talked about this on a stream at one point, but Blinks? Does anyone remember Blinks? If you don't, that's because, well, there's a good reason you don't remember Blinks. Blinks never went anywhere. Blinks was an attempt at an Xbox mascot. But I think already the time of mascots was drawing to a close by the time Blinks came out. Bubsy, Glover. Well, Glover was pretty good. That was decent. Gex, I liked Gex. Gex was actually... Gex had some personality. The gameplay may not have been that great, but it was passable. But the thing that made Gex a memorable game for me was the sense of humor, the pop culture stuff, the voice acting, the levels were like, you know, spoofs on oh, I fucked up. I can't get that flower now. The levels were spoofs on movies. Oh no, that is soul crushing. I'm not gonna get that Yoshi now because I missed the thing. Fuck. Ah! That's frustrating. This game really makes you want... This game really makes you want to collect everything. I get so incredibly disappointed when I miss an item. Oh no. Okay. Alex Kidd. Oh yeah, Alex Kidd, that's another one. Yeah. I mean, we could talk about NES games. The NES games definitely had some really early attempts. And many early failures. In fact, AVGN has plenty of videos about those. It's amazing how much the industry has changed since the 80s, but then I thought about it, I was like, even everything changes, but the games that we play now, like that whole, the mascot phase, the platformer, is really not happening a whole lot. It seems like Nintendo still kind of has the market cornered on that. We're getting more indie games now that are more kind of a throwback to those styles. But AAA, you don't get it as quite as much. You might get some like stylized stuff, but you don't really tend to see games like, you know, like Banjo-Kazooie as much anymore. Hat in Time and that other game, again, that's kind of different because it's a direct attempt to emulate those styles. What was the other game called? Bat and Lizard? That Platonic is making. Oh my god, how do I not remember the name of this? Ukulele. Ukulele. Oh my. No deal. I didn't do so good that level with collectibles. Feels bad, man. Thank you, Isaac S. You know why. Appreciate it. I still get a lot of people PM or emailing me or PMing me saying that they were banned. They don't know why. A lot of people were banned recently in an incident. It's no one's fault. So if you were banned and you don't know why, PM a moderator in the channel, and that'll help. I don't think I want to redo that. I think I'm just gonna move on to the next level. But before I do, I want to change my skin. I want to go into the skin hut and wear the skin of another fallen Yoshi. Mega Man Yoshi. Someone in chat just said, time to watch hentai, bye. Let's say, for example, he's not trolling, and he's just dead-ass serious, he's gonna go watch hentai. I never understood the need to just to share the world, like, oh, I'm gonna go watch some porn now. I'll see you later. Like, I wonder, what kind of... What do you get out of that? So this is a new game mechanic. What's up, bro? Welcome back to Bing. I see you haven't used the Bing search engine in quite a while, bro. Did you know that we're one of the top we're a top search engine? I still can't believe Hulu became a thing. I remember when Hulu was like the most forced shit. I was like, ugh, Hulu, what the fuck is this shit? What do you mean? You gotta like, it's just another shittier YouTube, and then I was like, oh, you gotta pay? Yeah, no thanks. And now, like, most of my friends have a Hulu thing that they're paying monthly for. And it's like, well, they became a thing. I guess they had enough shows to really drive home the point of their existence. Why does Bing exist? Says someone in the chat. I don't know, I think it has something to do with... Do you know, like, a forced meme? Do you know when someone tries really hard to force a meme? Because they want to lay a claim? They want to have a piece of the action? It's more of an ego thing. Alright? In this case, it's more of a money thing. It's basically... Competition is good. We know that competition is good. It's good for business. However, there's also a lot of times when it's like really forced competition, and like the same like parent company owns the two things. You know, to create the illusion of competition, but not really. So there's always that. So there's multiple reasons why these things exist. But it's just, yeah, it's basically just forced. Just an attempt for Microsoft or whoever to like get some of that dough. Get in on that pie. You know, get some of the action. That was almost very bad for me. What's the one search engine? DuckDuckGo? It's like I tried using that, and it's just not as good as Google. Like, Google really is very good. Which is why we use it. Ask Jeeves. Oh man, remember Alta Vista? That was my preferred search engine. In the early days of the internet, where you would download progs and punt people on AOL. And you don't remember the internet if AOL wasn't your life, man. Got punted by through IMs. Man, those were the days, getting punted. Remember when MS Paint was the most, like, amazing thing ever. Couldn't believe it. When I got my first computer. It's like, there's so much activities. Encarta Dictionary came with, like, this shitty point-and-click game where you'd have to light matches. And, like, I used to download, like, not download, I used to print articles that I liked from Encarta. That was, like, the first, like, internet, in a way. Because I didn't have internet for a little while. I had a computer, but I didn't have internet. And, I used to go on the encyclopedia and look up things. Just print it out. But that game sucked. I always thought it was like, oh, this is cool, like, I'm in a thing. I'm in, like, a medieval setting. Like, oh, man, it's gonna be like Zelda. I can get a sword. And it's just, like... It was just an attempt to get me to learn stuff. It's like, oh, I gotta learn? Like, what do you want me to learn? Like, I don't want to learn, I want to fight things. So, needless to say, I didn't play that game very often. Whatever it was. Vinny, did you used to print porn? No, I never printed porn, however, I do remember someone printing porn. Not porn, but like nudes of Drew Barrymore. Wow, did I miss that many things on this level? I thought I was being pretty thorough, too. Jesus fucking Christ. You gotta be shitting me in the face. You gotta be eating my dick. My school used to do these ice skating trips. And, I remember one of my classmates skated up to me with a printed out photo of Drew Barrymore topless. From, like, Playboy or whatever. And, like, it was so, like, risky and cool. It's like, check this out, bros. Thought we were so cool showing each other naked boobies in the ice skating rink. Yeah, if you didn't grow up, like, in the early days of the internet, you kinda weren't missing out on too much. But, yeah, there's some absurd moments of discovery. Still trying to figure out what the fuck everything was. The sound of a 56K. Yeah, that's like... I don't think I missed that sound. I really don't think I missed that particular sound, if I could totally be honest. That sound is still haunting me. To this, at this moment, I can recall the sound. And it's like, nah, I don't want that. No, I don't want this! Anyway, in a rare reversal, I managed to get all of the flowers, but I missed most of the yarn. I don't really care too much about the flowers, I want the yarn, man. I just thought of a new style for Nintendo. You know how they've been going with the yarn and the clay lately for like Kirby, and this is wool. All right, water paint in the style, or just something in the style of Bob Ross, like a living painting. They tried it a little bit with Skyward Sword, but it didn't really I don't think Skyward Sword really went that far with it. I think it was still kind of rooted in reality a little bit. And, like, they can just mine through, like, the Bob Ross episodes and have him, like, narrate, like, oh, you found yourself a happy little tree. Oh, what's that, a happy little grotto? Hang on a second, I've got someone... Torpedo kitten. You've been unbanned. Been unbent. Again, apologies for the inconvenience. Everyone that had an unfair removal, to put it lightly. What else? What other styles would be kind of cool? Cave painting, someone said. I mean, that sounds like a joke, but I could see like a short indie game in the style of cave paintings. Or how about this? That just inspired me. How about a game where the art style starts out as a cave painting, and you work your way through history's various types of styles? Like hieroglyphics, you know, Roman kind of style, whatever that is. Medieval, Renaissance, Impressionist, Picasso, Van Gogh, you know, go through all like, well, Van Gogh then Picasso. But yeah, you can go through like various types of styles chronologically. That's not a bad idea. Okay, so if this happens, if anyone here is a developer, just you know, if you need a consultant on your game where you're gonna do the art styles from cave painting to Bob Ross, please send me an email. I want to be involved in some way. You have permission to use the idea, but just please give me a little bit of credit and shekels, but mostly credit. Oh, well, I think that's a pretty cool idea, but someone just said wads of gum. I think that's even better. Or if you want to even go in a different direction, how about this? How about you start, the game is, you are a character that a child has drawn in their notebook, or on, you know, paper, right? You go through someone's life as an artist. And, like, they're, you know, a few years old, 2 years old, they're drawing with, like, crayons, and it's really crappy. And then, as you go along, like, you're really weak, because you're being drawn by this child who doesn't really have good art skills. Then you kind of go through, like, their notebook, as they go through, like, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade, they start to improve. Their art goes through, like, a dark spell, because, you know, they're, like, going through some teen angst shit. They draw, like, a lot of dragons and, like, really dark pieces of, well, like, dragons are dark. But, yeah, then you can go through that, and then, like, they become, like, an artist, and they start to get good, then they become, like, a starving, tortured artist, their art gets dark again, and then by defeating the villain, which is writer's block, or artist block, whatever you want to call it, some form of block, you are able to get your shit together and make a living off of your art. Or something. I don't know how that one kind of, I mean, this is definitely a style over substance thing. Like, me and KY were talking about this. When an artist designs a game, sometimes it doesn't work out so great. We had, this one person, it was a few years ago now, contact us repeatedly, and they wanted us to stream a game that they made. And the game was a very short demo that was, like, in production for years. You know, and it was very, very short, and it played like crap. You couldn't tell what was the background, what was the foreground, what objects were interactable. It was basically... It was too aesthetic. It was designed with its style more in mind than the gameplay, and that can be not so great sometimes. I didn't say all the time. Sometimes. This particular game was very, very difficult for us to like, and we wanted to like it because it did look very good. Like, the animation was painstakingly drawn. Like, every frame of movement was done by one person. Like, the person did not want to hire anyone else. And they were an artist first. They wanted to do the game by themselves so that their vision was uncompromised. And unfortunately, that kind of made the game suffer quite a bit. And, last I heard, the developer got very defensive about people that would have anything negative to say about this game, and would just go on, like, rants, like tirades about artistic integrity and, you know, this is art, you don't know art, you don't know art. Well, here's the thing. Yeah, maybe, but you're making a video game. It has to play like a video game. People gotta want to play your game. If they try it out for 20 minutes and they're like, whoa, this does not play well, I'm not having fun. No amount of art can save that. So, when I throw these ideas out there, part of me feels like, oh yeah, that could be a cool idea, but another part of me feels like, well, it could also be a major disaster. So, that's a little kind of story that we have. Both KY and myself. This game kind of takes the Yoshi gameplay that we all know, adds a few little things to it, but it's certainly a more stylistic approach. Like, for example, this game could work just as well, gameplay-wise, if it was done in the Yoshi's Island style, which is also very stylistic, like the crayon kind of thing. But, you could do this like Mario World, which has got a loose kind of artistic style. It looks good, but it's nothing too defined or too intense. I feel like you could make this exact game, gameplay-wise, like that, and it would still be good, but all the development time in this game, or most of it, I should say, I would think, went to making the game look really good, make the levels look varied, and give it a very memorable art style. In Nintendo's case, it worked because they know how to make platformers. They're good at this, you know. But in some cases, that can be pretty bad if the main focus is the art style and not a whole lot else. Also, how cool would it be if the bubbles, the reflection in the bubbles was actually the Wii U's GamePad camera. So, like, you could see yourself reflected in the bubbles. Come on, Nintendo, why am I coming up with better ideas? I'm not that good. Get on the ball, sons! You could see my drawn, tired face right now. My messy hair. My intense, like, unshaven beard. You would love to see that. Wouldn't you? That's why I don't face cam. The same reason why I don't want my face to be in those fucking bubbles. However, it is a nice idea, I think. I think it would be a great way to freak out the player a little bit. Also, I always felt like the Wii U GamePad had potential for, like, sanity effects. You know what I mean? Like an Eternal Darkness type thing. Because there's so much potential for a game to break the fourth wall. I mean, you got a microphone on the gamepad. You've got speakers on the gamepad. You've got a camera on the gamepad. And obviously a screen. What if you're playing a game like Eternal Darkness, right? And you're looking up at the screen. Maybe the bottom screen is kind of like the map. and the map slowly starts fading into like a really fucked up looking face that's staring directly at you. Like a really demonic, disturbing face. But you're not seeing it because it fades so gradually into it that you're busy looking at, like, during an intense gameplay segment on the screen, you might not look down. You might not notice it. But then, when you have to look down, it's there. And you're like, what the fuck? I would love another game like Eternal Darkness that really, really got creative with sanity effects. The gamepad notices when you look down at the camera and changes the TV when you look down. That would be great too. Or like it hears any like noises or breathing you make in the microphone. Or like it records you say, okay, how about this? The microphone detects you saying something, right? If you say something, and then at random intervals throughout the game, it plays your voice back at you, but slightly warped, slightly twisted, right? To the point where you kind of don't recognize your own voice, but you'll be like, wait a minute, didn't I just say that, like a little while ago? Man, okay, I want this game to happen now. I'm tired of Yoshi's ruining my plans. Hey, you minion, you need to stop any Yoshis from getting past here. Yeah, you could be like, suck my dick! Like you say that, and then it plays back, suck my dick! Like while you're playing the game. You're like, why would a Nintendo game tell me to suck its dick? Yeah, see, that's the thing. It's a little risky. Like, you might be able to do something like that on the PC, you know, or some other systems. But I think any ideas like that would freak Nintendo out because they would see the potential for babu harm. But I mean, it's like, again, I've said this analogy before. That's like banning steak because children can't eat them. Or banning steak knives because you're afraid a child will get hurt on it. Like, don't, you know, give me the option to do these things. Like, that's why you put ratings on games, so something like that could exist. Make it M-rated. Finally got all the yarn. But it's the kid who'd have to say, right, if the kid said, suck my dick, and it was, you know, the kid obviously says those things, so he wouldn't get offended. So maybe not, maybe I'm presuming, you know, there were, in the wise words of George, one should never presume. So I got an angry email on the subject of what we're talking about. They're saying, I watched you stream Yoshi and you're talking about mature games. They're not angry, they're disappointed, right? And they're saying I have no sense. You're going to avoid games like Fatal Frame, Maiden of the Blackwater, and maybe even Xenoblade Chronicles X, and are still complaining that Nintendo doesn't do mature games. So I complain that Nintendo, as a developer, doesn't develop a lot of mature games. I said I would like to see an M-rated Nintendo game, right? And they're saying, are you going to support the hardcore games that Nintendo puts out, or finally admit that you're a casual? Alright, so hang on a second. I'd like to explain something. The reason I'm not playing Fatal Frame... I'm not saying I'm not a casual. The reason I'm not playing Fatal Frame is because I've never played a Fatal Frame game, and I don't want to spend my money on something that may be mixed. Now, yeah, reviews on Metacritic aren't the ultimate answer, but I've read reviews from people, too, fans of the series. I was interested in this for Halloween, and I decided not to get it. Xenoblade Chronicles Wii U looks cool. I probably will check it out at some point. I love the way it looks, but it's a really, really, really long game, and if I'm going to play any really long game, it's going to be Fallout 4. So yes, I am going to avoid that game, and I'm going to avoid streaming it because of its length and because I don't think I want to engage in another really long game while Fallout 4 is out. So there's those two things. I like Nintendo a lot, and I think the crazy thing is you are presuming that I don't like what they put out. I do like what they put out. But I think you also got a little bit defensive there, my friend. Because my thing was, I would like to see Nintendo develop an M-rated game. Both Fatal Frame and Xenoblade Chronicles are not being developed by Nintendo. I'd like to see the core Nintendo team put out something M-rated and just see what they can do with it. That was more my argument. I can get a power badge. Great. Let's see what else. And also, I don't think Nintendo is too babby, because I definitely have felt the difficulty. And I even have said this. It's crazy when... Here's the thing, it's crazy when Nintendo fans accuse me of disliking Nintendo, because I'm most often accused of being a rabid Nintendo fanboy. So it's actually kind of weird to me to hear that there are people who would say that I'm anti-Nintendo. That's absolutely not the case. I'm critical of them. And I feel like they've put out and developed a lot of really tough games. Mario Galaxy comes to mind, Mario 3D Land, 3D World. You know, doing all the hidden stuff, doing all the extra stuff is really difficult. The Metroid series has that depth that I look for. There's a lot of really great Nintendo stuff that I feel has the depth I'm looking for. But I think, again, you probably put the blinders on a little bit, and I think you misunderstood my argument, which is okay. I understand that. I think Nintendo has potential to make a cool M-rated game, and that's my argument. And I hope, you know, I hope that they do one day. Let me see something. When is Xenoblade... Hang on. When does Xenoblade Chronicles X come out anyway? Just curious. It comes out... Do we even have a release date? I'm looking for it now. Xenoblade Chronicles X. It says here December 4th. So... yeah, I mean, I might give it a shot. I was really interested in it. I thought it looked great. And the previews have been getting better and better. Xenoblade Chronicles X came out in Japan already? Hang on. Apparently the Japanese reviews, and again, I know reviews aren't exactly the end all be all, far from it. But apparently the game is mostly played between 100 and 200 hours. But it seems like people did enjoy the game, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to check it out.